Hello and welcome to the Quest on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Rakhee Bakshee. As you know that in this show each week we bring you a leading personality, and through that personality we try to understand what's happening around us. So basically getting a perspective on the issues. So another very special guest with us on Rajya Sabha TV on the Quest this time. Somebody we've really known, somebody who's really been in a way synonymous at once with Delhi as such. The former Chief Minister of Delhi and also a very senior leader of the Congress party. We are talking to Ms. Sheila Dikshit, and I welcome her onto the show. Of course, the time that we are talking about, ma'am, is very, very important because right now as we talk, the news is about Aam Aadmi Party and its whole eagerness to get power. And we are talking about this extra Aam Aadmi Party, 21 of them MLAs getting extra posts. And of course, the president has refused that amendment that they asked for. What is your view on that?
Well, there is a post called the parliamentary secretary, which is all right. But we must remember two things. One, Delhi is not a full statehood, it's a union territory. So I don't know whether permission has been taken from the Lieutenant Governor or, the Government of India Home Ministry to make these 21. There has been a tradition of having a parliamentary secretary, no doubt about it. But the tradition has meant one, and the maximum we made was 3, not more than that. Because you have a cabinet which is capped at 6 members of the cabinet, you can't make more 7 or 8. So this 21 number is somehow shocking and
because when you talk to them, of course, they would say that look at the past, blast from the past. That's one of the leaders wrote even on social media.
No. You see, 21, the number out of a house of 70, you have 6 ministers and you have 21, parliamentary secretaries. Is there any logic to it? Is there any purpose to it? Except for the fact that you have given the name of an MLA plus a parliamentary secretary. And also I must tell you that parliamentary secretaries have no power. Okay. They cannot look at files. A parliamentary secretary may get...
I think that's the plea they are making. They're saying they're not getting any benefits, so why there is so much hue and cry?
Yes, no, that may be their plea, but they've done it apparently to appease people, na? Otherwise, why should they? An MLA is an MLA, and in his own area, he is king. He or she is king. They get 200 crores a year to spend in their constituency. If they'd concentrate on their constituency and the requirements of the constituency, that's what is an MLA.
So basically it's the intention that you're actually hinting at, is it?
Well, probably, yes. I just don't know how to explain it because it's inexplicable. They seem to have no knowledge.
And of course, as we know, Mr. Kejriwal would say that, this is a story that is being concocted in the sense that he'll cry foul. He'll say, okay, I want to do something for Delhi. And he said it also, that I can suffer, but Delhi people should not suffer.
Oh my God, they're making a hype of 21 parliamentary secretaries into something which they are incapable of doing. They cannot see files, they cannot take decisions, they are not members of the cabinet. So what can they do? And in any case, all MLAs, whether they belong to any party or most importantly the ruling party, they can always go to the minister or to a chief minister and say, okay, this is what I think should be done. It's always there. And there are always party meetings where people give their suggestions on. So there are many ways already of reaching out to them and being reached out to by them to you.
So everything that they do, ma'am, they say that, we really want to work for Delhi and that's why we got elected and we think and work for them, the people of Delhi, and then we are disrupted because our intentions are very noble.
Other governments, MLAs have not worked for the people. The Congress got elected 3 times over. It was the work that people kept on electing it for 3 times consecutively. So what are you trying to say? What is the logic behind it? And then you go and defy the government of India and the Lieutenant Governor. You have a constant war with them. You have a war with the police commissioner. You do not get along with the DDA. Then the tools with which you can work for Delhi,
You rightly said, actually, look at the kind of problem they have with either the LG or
Yes.
the police. In fact, I was talking to one of the leaders and said, you have problems with police. For everything you blame that. How do you really look at this whole tussle going on? Because they would say, you know, I remember that when they made allegations, when you were the chief minister, they said, okay, why things are not being done? And I think the problem here again, and they would cite again that, you know, okay, Delhi is not a state, and that's where the problems with the police and all these other things. How would you really look at that?
No, there are problems and there are no problems. I'll tell you. A problem is created. You don't have police under you, okay? But the people, in the eyes of the people, it's the chief minister and the ministers of the local government who are really responsible. Not everybody knows that the police is under you. Then what is the way out? To work at tandem, to work together. The Lieutenant Governor, he holds a meeting every month or so with the police commissioner and the Delhi government and other officers, just to be able to coordinate. If I feel that as a chief minister or as a minister, that something is going wrong with the police or something is going wrong with the DDA or something is going wrong with the MCD, we all collectively get together and sort it out.
So you think the present chief minister doesn't do that?
No, he seems to be having a sort of a confusion, and you know, he confuses things up so that everybody else gets confused, and for him it is always somehow the other. It's not
they
being
would say
together.
that
It's you know, working against. It's talking against. It's, you know, letting down everybody and, you know, bringing them down.
So they would say, unlike you, there is a center which is of a different party, and for everything, of course, they blame BJP also and the center. And of course, here in this case, both the BJP and the Congress, that they're not letting us work, which we want to do. Look how much we did for Delhi. When we talk to them, they talk about, you know, all these things they've done for Aam Aadmi, including electricity, water, and other such facilities.
Where is electricity and water? Everybody is getting their bills as they used to get in during the Congress regime. All that they've done is probably change the colors a little bit, but it's the same. Where is everybody getting free water? I'd like to meet one person or one family who will come and say, yes, I am getting free water. Not one. So what are you trying to do? Are you trying to fool the people of Delhi? Misguide them?
They're saying we reduce the bill to half, actually, and they cite some of these.
No, I don't think so. My bill has not been reduced, and I don't want it to be, because after all, if you want electricity, you have to pay for it. This is the kind of thing they came up.
So I would like to ask you a very interesting question, since you mentioned it. As a citizen of Delhi right now, how would you really look at this government? Not really as the former chief minister.
Well, I am a citizen of this, and I look at this government as somebody who has made promises which are not going to be able to, they're not going to be able to fulfill. Therefore, I look at this government as a government which causes deliberate confusion in the minds of the people, so that they do not get to the truth and goes on saying anything. They say we are building 200 schools or we are building a flyover. The flyovers have all been built by us. You are inaugurating them. Fine. It's all right. That's the, we have saved 127 crores in a particular flyover. It wasn't saved by them. It was saved by us because extensions were not allowed to be made. They were dropped. The idea was dropped. Then what I want to ask you one simple thing. What is it that you are doing which you have done? You've said buses. Look at the state of the buses today.
Again, they'll cry foul and say that, we wanted so many depots to be there and there's some land related problems and we're not allowed. And that's the word they use quite often. We're not allowed to really do this.
No. We had the same kind of system of governance that they have inherited. So we didn't face problems, and when we did face problems, we did go to them. We did not go to confront them. We wanted them, okay, this is the need for Delhi, and Delhi, let's face it, I'm saying it with all humility, did change in the 15 years that the Congress was there.
That's what one remembers also, but then they would say there were certain problems and that's why they wanted to create alternate politics and they came to power, they got elected, there were problems, and they would cite many things, including corruption. They would say, we are very honest people, we are giving a transparent government.
You're very honest people, ask the people. I can say I'm very honest, but what is the perception of the other people? the citizens of this city, not one has come to say, tell me.
And they would say that we've done so many interesting things. In fact, they have taken risk, come to odd and even scheme. They are saying we took a bold decision.
Odd and even was brought around so that pollution can come down. Did pollution come down? Not once. Now they've stopped talking about odd and even.
Do you think it was an experiment that they really did not succeed in, maybe?
Yes, maybe it was. Maybe if it was an experiment, then say, all right, it isn't an experiment worth it because it caused also a lot of problems. People like me who have only one car, I couldn't go out every day. I had to,
and one could have sacrificed if one saw the results coming in. Yeah.
And there were many people who bought extra cars because they had the money, and Delhi is a rich city. They bought extra cars. Now, where do you park them? So you did not solve the problem you thought you were solving, and you created another problem of parking.
One very important question is about women's safety, and of course, whether it's your time, and I know that you took it also as a challenge maybe, and after that we keep asking them as to what's happening. How would you really take a broader view there and look at this concern basically?
Well, you see, the women's safety is a really sad issue for Delhi, because the kind of expectation that people had that after Nirbhay took place, that things will settle down and people will become a little more sensitive to women's safety and looking after them. That has not happened. And the government of the day doesn't even talk about it. They don't even talk about it. They have a women's commission, and we used to have a helpline, 181, which used to, immediately attend to them, and it used to work 24 hours. They've closed that down. The lady who's working for the DCW right now doesn't seem to have anything to say. I had a pleasure of meeting her once, and all that she says is, I keep visiting hospitals to see how women are. I mean, the job is to give a sense of security to women. How do they feel secure?
Exactly.
You see, that feeling is
that
not
atmosphere of
that atmosphere, and also that these are very highly punishable crimes. We did change the law. A new law was brought in after Nirbhay. Well, in this country, things do not happen immediately. They take a long time to happen. Above all, I also feel that society has to look into it. How do we protect the girls in our families? How do we look after the women? What is the kind of respect? It's a social issue also, you see. So you have to look at it holistically. But you go on talking just that we've done this and we've done that, when you
will not really be digested also by the citizens. We are taking a short break out here, but this interview and conversation will continue with Ms. Sheila Dikshit. Many more questions to ask her, but after this very short break, we are taking her on the quest on Rajya Sabha TV. Welcome back once to the show again, to the quest on Rajya Sabha TV. We are talking to Ms. Sheila Dikshit. Some more questions which are more national also to the states. Punjab is something that they're looking at, seem very hopeful. Would you like to say something on that?
Well, it's hopeful so far, but let us see when the elections are still about 8-9 months from now onward. Let's see what happens.
We are talking about the Congress giving any competition. That's my question.
No, lot of people come from Punjab to Delhi, because it's a kind of a daily, it's a extension. I mean, they interact very, very frequently. So they will see for themselves what has happened in Delhi. Where are the promises? What has happened? Are they all words? There's a confrontation, this kind of an attitude. So will the people of Punjab accept this kind of a governance, which seems to have already visibly failed?
You think that will have an effect?
Of course it will. Of course it will. Certainly it will.
Okay. Talking about Uttar Pradesh, now everybody is trying to really make itself stronger, whichever party. Of course, BJP is looking at certain, let's say, caste calculations there. Congress seems to be very upbeat. We have Ghulam Nabi Azad who's visiting Uttar Pradesh right now. But some are saying you'll also be playing a very active role there. How would you really look at Congress party's performance in the upcoming
I'm one of those soldiers of my party. Whatever I'm asked to do, I do. And whatever I'm not asked to do, I don't do. So
I mean, Prashant Kishore even went to the extent of saying you could be the face for the Uttar Pradesh.
These are conjectures, and this is, the media sort of ambience which has been created. I have no idea about it at all, and I'm telling
Would you really like to take it up when such a situation
it's not
comes?
a matter of liking or not liking. It's a matter of, serving the party wherever they ask us to.
Because of your past experience and because we know that in UP there are all kinds of dimensions as I'm talking about, maybe you could be someone who could be really a name that everybody would look
Well, the
at.
decision makers have to decide that.
Okay, so what will happen in Uttar Pradesh otherwise? How is the party looking at it?
I think Ghulam Nabi's appointment there has been a great booster, and there's, a kind of an enthusiasm. So let us see how he works, because he's going to be there for the next 2-3 days.
And he has even said that we'll decide on a face very soon.
Exactly. So let them decide, let us see the feel of the people and the workers that are there, and then a decision will be taken on his advice likely, or by the High Command.
I mean, look at the parties, the ruling party, Samajwadi Party, which seems to be right now in a little bit of, I'm sure, the incumbency or anti-incumbency would be in place. There's BSP, which is really doing all its best, very silently, I must say. There would come the question of alliance, because BJP, of course, is putting all its force where it needs to be.
Look, these are conjectures. Let it happen. The BJP is there, the SP is there, the BSP is there, and the Samajwadi there. So there are 4 parties, this thing. Now let us see what the outcome of the election. There is also a feeling that no party today, as of today I'm talking of this time, is that it will get a full majority. Because SP, the law and order has been very poor in that. So that's bad for them. Where the BSP is concerned, people don't have some good memories, but not all really good memories. Where the BJP is concerned, they don't seem to have a leader. The Congress also, we are there, but we have not yet finalized our strategy or the way.
So are you hinting at any alliance that can happen?
Yes, obviously, if in the election nobody gets a full majority, then bound to be alliances which will have to work.
Okay, and faces again, Priyanka Gandhi's name comes up. I mean, I think we know, somebody who's observed Congress party would know that this name keeps coming up, and now with Uttar Pradesh, I think this is getting more hyped. How would you really like to look at it?
You see, this, what Priyanka does, what Rahul does, this is all their family matter. Rahul is the vice president.
Is it not the party matter?
No, she's not a member of the party per se. You see, she works for her mother's constituency and her brother's constituency, but she's deliberately confined herself to that. So it will be there is a demand for her, no doubt about it. There's a lot of demand for her, but the family has to take the call.
And look at the kind of leadership that the party is looking at. So Rahul Gandhi's name is coming up. In fact, there are conjectures that anytime soon he would really take over as the president of the party. I mean, we know even the leaders who are sometimes sharing their views. What would you say on that?
Well, eventually he has to. But the timing when he does it, when Mrs. Gandhi and them and the working committee, when they take a decision, that will be the time. It could be next week, it could be 2 months later, it could be a year later. This also depends on the political ambience at that moment. Political decisions are taken when they ought to be taken. When the perception comes that this is the time we should take this decision.
And why I said, since you are talking about timing, ma'am, the timing itself is important, because we saw the last elections, the state elections. I think the party needs to really, energize itself.
Oh yes, of course, we all believe that. That is why Ghulam Nabi has been sent there, and it's the beginning of things that will follow. What will follow, when it will follow, within a week, within 10 days, within a month, within 2 months, because we have very little time.
So do you think churning introspection is needed? We are talking also about the restructuring of the party as such. Would you think that it's really urgently needed to really look at some kind of overhaul?
Well, certainly changes are required, because we've had this kind of a setup for the past almost a decade. So I think every party everybody needs to reinvent themselves every now and again. The time for reinventing is certainly there. And because we have the fullest faith in Mrs. Sonia Gandhi's sagacity to take decisions at the right time, we'll wait for that. But I think she's been spoken to by lots of people. She's aware of the situation, and let her take her decision.
Okay, another thing which of course I come back to Delhi is about Lokpal bill, and when I talk about this whole transparency thing, I think that's where it comes up, and they say again that we are not allowed. Actually, we are really trying to go full force.
Now, what are you asking about the Lokpal bill? Should it be there? Should it not be there? It should be there, okay? But that the current Lokpal bill, as it is, unless they've changed it, which I don't think they have, is without much teeth, you see. You know, so it needs to, even at the all India level, what a Lokpal should really be has not yet been worked out, because it will be a kind of a parallel court. You know, you have a system within the government which looks after that, then you have the High Court, the Supreme Court and lower court. Moral kind of a thing. Now, should it be one Lokpal? Should it be a group of 3 or 4 people who, you know, constitute the Lokpal body? That's also an idea which could come out, so that, you know, it's not left to only one person. So I think we are at a stage where the definition of the work and the responsibility of the Lokpal is still not clear in anybody's mind.
How would you really look largely at the governance of Delhi? I mean, you were the chief minister for such a long time, and now this party who's again trying to do things. But governance finally for Delhi walas as such, how would you really look at it?
Well, Delhi is not an easy state to govern, and it's a very, very important state, because remember, it's the capital of this country. And whatever image Delhi gives goes, you know, the image of India. The diplomats live here, the entire central government lives here. So it cannot be like any other state. We have to work at it. But because the powers of the Delhi government are restricted, it does not have land under it, it doesn't have police under it. It can only work by, you know, coordination. Coordination becomes the key to governance over here. You know, you need to put in schools. You have to go to the DDA, which is under the government of India. Please give us that much land. We need to put in 20 schools or 50 schools, so many hospitals, so many bus stands, so on and so forth. So the governance of Delhi is very different from any other state. I don't think this.
And would you say the advantage with you, again, I'll come to the center-state relationship, where if both parties are the same, I mean.
No, how we worked in the first few years of our beginning of our term, first term, with the BJP, and we worked very fine. We got the metro here. That was the first time the metro came, and the government there was very different. We were Congress and they were BJP. But you see, what is good for Delhi? So you can't look at Delhi as any other state or any other city. It's the capital of our country. So if you coordinate with the center, I am quite sure whatever the government of the center may be, there's a vested interest in the government of India and the vested interest.
So which means that on GST, would Congress really walk ahead as it is being expected to?
GST is not particularly confined to Delhi, it's for the whole country.
No, I'm saying generally as,
the
as
party
an issue.
decides it, whatever the party decides.
Because the government is reaching out to all states and talking to all kinds of
out.
leaders. Yeah.
When the government, the Congress government brought up the GST, they did not cooperate. So,
how would you really look at the BJP, this NDA government, and how the BJP is performing either in Delhi or nationally?
Well, I would say that it's glib talking, but the feeling of good governance, which a citizen feels as a citizen, is not yet come.
But you say glib talk, actually I'm reminded of somebody saying that, okay, the earlier government, and of course with due respect to our former Prime Minister, Dr. Manmohan Singh, did not talk much. And here we have a Prime Minister who tours, who talks, who communicates, and does Mann Ki Baat.
Well, everybody has a style. Dr. Manmohan Singh did more work and less talk. Here it is more talk and less work.
And he does Mann Ki Baat.
Yes, Mann Ki Baat, well, all that is his style. Everybody has a style, he has his style. But for the ordinary citizen, the style is sort of, is something which is a part of the personality, right? But what is the citizen? Why are prices so high?
Yeah.
They hurt you and
price
me every day.
Really something.
It hurts everybody. Nobody talks about price. Even in Mann Ki Baat, nobody talks of prices, which is hurting every family which is living in India. What about the farmer? He feels cheated. He feels he's not getting enough price. Who is the person who's making all the money?
And
so
also this social harmony, which an issue which keeps coming up.
Yes, that I was coming to that. Thank you for asking me this, because the social harmony, you know, anybody goes and says what they like. We are all Indians first. Everything else, whether I'm a Christian or a Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Nisai or whatever it may be, that's my personal matter. But I'm an Indian first. And the feeling that is increasingly being felt is that I'm an Indian later, and I'm what religion I speak or I follow is first.
Do you think we'll see more of that in UP when one talks about Ram Mandir, the party, or maybe now we'll see a resurgence of this issue, which maybe was little under the carpet, maybe?
They were the ones who took up the issue of Ram Mandir, and now they are saying Ram Mandir is not going to be a part of it. So they are confused with their thinking and looking at what will be politically beneficial, which is all right. It's a right of every political party to do that. But this feeling of caste and this feeling of religion, it was there. I don't say it wasn't there. But in our society per se, if you look at the society without the politics of it, you look at a society which is fairly, harmonious and
lastly, as we are wrapping up, of course, we think about the Congress party, and we ask you here as a very senior leader that how one should look at Congress party. Of course, a party which has ruled for so many years, a party which has been a big party. Do you think there needs to be a real big rethink on how it should go ahead?
The Congress has always reinvented itself, What it was in Nehru's time, it wasn't in Indira's. In Indira's time, it wasn't in Rajiv's. Rajiv is today, I would consider, the creator of the 21st century. You see, he was a prime minister who looked at and all this electronics that you see all over in your life as well as in your workplace and all, is all the foundation, and the vision was laid by Rajiv Gandhi. So you have to continuously go on. You cannot think the way it was thought of when Mahatma Ji was fighting the battle for independence. So you see, times change, and if thoughts do not change with the times, then I'm afraid we can't grow. And the reason why the Congress has ruled so long has primarily been because it has always adjusted itself to the requirements of the time.
But that's why we're asking you this question, because we think, is a time to really look ahead. But thank you so much, ma'am, for talking to us here, sparing all your time on Rajya Sabha TV. And it's been a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you.
And thank you so much. And that was Ms. Sheila Dikshit trying to answer a range of issues. Of course, many things about Delhi. And as she rightly said, she is also a citizen of Delhi, somebody but who has looked at Delhi as a Chief Minister earlier. So thank you so much to all of you for watching this particular edition of The Quest on Rajya Sabha TV. Namaskar and bye-bye.